Hello, and welcome back to the complete guide to teleport. Today is a short tutorial on how you can take an existing teleport cluster, which you've already seen many times now throughout this course, how to configure and get started. And we're going to, through the use of some YAML and a GitHub application, enable single sign-on that works against teams and organizations on GitHub. So most likely where your developers already are, or your operators, etc. Now, before we get started, I will say this was supposed to be the first tutorial that was going to live stream to YouTube, where we are now, but also to Twitter and to LinkedIn and to somewhere else. But I made a boo-boo. I accidentally hit start stream and end stream, which now means I can no longer send it to those other destinations. So we're going with YouTube. So if you're watching, thank you for joining. We're going to get started right away. So we have a screen share here. Hopefully this is still the same machine. It is indeed. What we have here is an Ubuntu box with teleport already pre-configured with DNS enabled. Again, these have been covered in prior videos, so we're not going to be doing that today. But we do have... Where's my public IPv4 address? Am I being really silly? All right, I'll just get it from here. This is my public IPv4 address. And we have a browser here where I have the documentation on setting up single sign-on with GitHub. The IP address, which we actually don't need because I have this configured as teleport.rawcode.live. Now, I haven't created a single user on this via the teleport control command. So this is a working teleport instance, but there are no users. I literally could not log into this if I wanted to. So we're going to work through the process, which is documented here, for setting this up. Now, the first thing the documentation wants you to do is just to confirm some versions. We definitely could run this, but I know that we run the latest version of Teleport 9, so I'm not going to run those same commands again just now. We can run tcontrol status, although I actually don't have my local machine configured with this teleport cluster, so I'm not going to run that, but we could run it inside the cluster. And we can see there. Perfect. Okay, so in order for this to work, we have to be able to create a GitHub OAuth authentication. And what this, let me make that a little bit bigger for you. There we go. What this is telling us here is that we need a DNS name configured because GitHub is going to redirect the traffic on the OAuth dance back to our teleport server. I guess you could do this with just IP addresses, but DNS is a lot nicer. And we need the path postfix that we put onto the end. So we need to create an OAuth application. This link goes to the documentation. I'm going to bypass that, copy this, and just go straight to github.com where we have the Raw Code Academy GitHub. From here, we can go to settings. And if we scroll down, we can go to GitHub applications. Ooh, maybe I need my... Or did I do this myself rather than as an organization? Oh, there we go. New OAuth application, and we will call this teleport tutorial. And let's just say rawcode.live. Now, the operation callback is this thing, but we need to swap out our proxy address for teleport.rawcode.live. So if we zoom in on that, you'll see our authorization callback is just our domain with the postfix. So we can register this application, and we're going to get some secret details, which I can't remember are immediately visible. No. Okay, cool. So we can copy this client ID and then generate a new secret when required. But we're going to go back to the teleport documentation first. And we're going to start speccing out this YAML. So everything in teleport can be configured through tcontrol apply and a YAML-like interface. So I'll do this in the etc directory because we actually already have our teleport.yaml here. So what I found works rather well is just to do a teleport.github.yaml GitHub. Yes, I am live now. I hope. Yeah, I'm live. Can't make it through. I should be. So teleport.github.yaml. We will drop in all this YAML and we come up to the top. Now we can just remove the comments. Those are far from important just now. We can see here we need our client ID and client secrets. We'll come back to that. Display this as GitHub. We add our redirect URL here. This is teleport.raw code. Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, thanks, Russell. I guess this is the first tutorial that I've done live. Normally I just pre-record these. I decided to try and live stream this one today. So if you prefer the pre-recordings, let me know. I won't do it again. So organization is, I'm going to allow the Raw Code Academy organization to log into this teleport cluster. And then we can specify the teams or the team. And I'm going to say the team will be tutorial. So I'll create a new team that gives me access to this when we're ready. And then we can decide what access we want to give to this. Now, of course, we could do editor, audit, etc. However, I'm just going to do access for now and remove that comment. So this is pretty close. So let's swap out these missing values. So let's grab our client ID from our newly created GitHub Authentication app. And we'll generate a secret, which I'll delete ASAP. We'll use it for today. Copy. There's no point in trying to hide this because I need to paste it into them. Like so. So I think, don't want to get too confident, but I think this is enough. So we save this file. We can cat it just so you can see there's nothing changed. It's exactly what as we did, and then we can do a T control apply -f GitHub. Does it not apply? Am I being silly? Create. Yeah. Apply would be kube control. Like so. And now it's telling us that our authentication connector GitHub has been created. So what this means is that if we come to this page and we refresh, that we will no longer be presented with the manual/custom login screen. Like so. Now, of course, we can if we had local users, but we don't, so we can get rid of it. And now we click GitHub. Now, I'm going to try and log in with this. It's going to fail. I hope it's going to fail. But it should fail because I added, as part of the configuration, that our team has to be tutorial to get access to the cluster. So if I do this, this team doesn't exist yet. We haven't created it. But you'll see that my teleport tutorial application by Raw Code Academy, I have lots of different organizations, but we'll skip past that. And we get unable to process callback. Is that the error message I'm expecting? Not sure, but we're going to find out. I think like teleport.live. I'm going to double check. There's a config, teleport.roll. Yeah, I think it's okay. And I didn't mess that up in here. Teleport.roll. Yeah, I think we're good. I think that is just a weird error message for the team problem, but we're going to fix that now. So we'll come back to the Raw Code Academy settings. No, we don't want team discussions. We want teams. So go to my profile, teams, new team, and we'll call this one tutorial. And click create. Now I'm already a member of this because I am the owner of the organization. So let's try. Hopefully, again. Ha! Wonderful. And now we have access to teleport. So now we can connect to the nodes. Oh, I haven't given myself user access, but that's okay. We can modify the GitHub configuration to support that now. Wonderful. So I do see that we have a question from Ali. Hello. Oh, long one. First time looking at teleport and it seems amazing. It is. However, I was wondering, what is the difference between HashiCorp Vault and teleport? Are there any pros and cons? Yeah, that's a good question. So teleport cannot really be compared to HashiCorp Vault. Vault is a KMS system. It stores secrets, encryption keys, and valuable information, which can be exposed to one or many users or groups, depending on the level of access they have to the vault based on paths and prefixes. So you could probably actually use Vault along with teleport. However, you can compare teleport to HashiCorp's Boundary. Now, Boundary is far from feature parity with what we get from teleport. So really, I'm just going to say teleport is probably leading. In fact, teleport is leading here, and I would encourage everybody to really go down this path. With access to Linux systems, to databases, to Kubernetes, to applications, and even desktops, Windows desktop, for example, which we did a video on recently with Ben from that team, from the teleport team. So teleport, it just wins this hands down, although there are similar products out there, but we like teleport. It's great. All right, let's fix some stuff. If we come in here, we don't need to worry about this. I'm just curious about the spec for the users. Computer's being weird. All right, let's just find it. And so one of my favorite pages in the documentation, if I can remember where it is, architecture, let's see, reference. Oh, there's more references than I thought. I'll find it here. Reference. And then we have the config file. Does this include GitHub? No. All right, let's see. That's taking me back to the same day. All right, let's take a look at one I already used. I forgot I removed all the SSH keys from the organization, but that's all right. We can take a look at the clustered setup because we already did this here. So if we come into clustered and take a look at the cluster automation, and inside this we have a whole bunch of cloud init scripts and a whole bunch of mine set up teleport. And if we take a look at, nope, not teleport install. I don't think it's the agent actually either. Not yet. Oh, maybe? No. Teleport server. There we go. I wrote these scripts and I can't even find my way around them. Okay, so what we do here is we say logins raw code. So we're using the access role. So we could modify that. That's a good point, actually. Or we could create a new role. Let's create a new role. Let's do it the kind of proper way. So what I'm going to do here is copy this role template, and we'll just do this. I think we can get away with just doing this all in the oneer. We'll use 3 lines as a separator, and I'm going to have to swap out some stuff that I normally interpolate and manually automatically, and we'll create this role here. So this is a very inclusive role. This is my super special role when I'm filming clustered. And we actually did a teleport RBAC deep dive session, which you can find at rockcode.live if you just search for teleport RBAC. But here we're saying, okay, we have a team, and I'm going to call this team rockcode. And this is the bit that was missing from just using the straight access role, is that we have to tell it which logins we have access to. So by default with the access role, if we come to servers, you'll see that when I click connect, I get my own username. That just means that that username actually needs to exist on the host, or the login will fail. And in fact, I think the error message is user unknown. So here, if we just say that actually this person can access or communicate using the root user, which is what we want to use here. Of course, there are pros and cons to this. As far as node labels go, I'm going to go with wonderful * for today. It should be here, and I'm not fussed about app labels. We don't have any applications exposed at the moment. Okay. Now this is my super role, which I don't think we are going to need right now, so we can just remove this. But this is just very explicit, allowing me to actually manage the teleport cluster. This is a modified editor role, so there's a lot of permissions here, but we don't need that for today's session. Bigger than I remember. There we go. Really, I should have been using some Vim key vibes here. Can't talk today. Okay, so now we're going to give myself the rockcode role. So this role should be able to see any machine and log in as root. Let's try that again. Teleport, GitHub. Seems nicer. Okay, let's do a refresh. Now, do I need to log out and in? Perhaps. So let's sign out, refresh my credentials. And now we have access to root. And now we are on our machine. Simple. So thanks for tuning in. That is our GitHub Authentication with teleport video. We got Ali says, thanks for the explanation, no problem. That's why I like doing these things live, so we can get some questions and hopefully make your lives a little bit easier. All right, we got another big question. Will it fit in the screen? Yeah, I'll get there. I also started testing Teleport as our access management solution. I'm wondering how others handle joining auto-scaling group instances when scale it happens, or EKS node groups. For EKS, you can deploy, I'll remove that off my face. For EKS, you could deploy Teleport inside of your Kubernetes cluster using some privileged access to get anything that you need onto the host. Is one way. With the auto-scaling group, you're going to want to use a custom launch configuration, which may configure Teleport which will mean the machines, when they spin up, automatically add the things that you need for Teleport for that to work. I'll link to one thing really quickly before I go off there, which is machine ID. So this is a really new feature. There we go. This is a really new feature with Teleport 9. We actually did a session on this with Ben as well. So there's me live now. Teleport 9. Yeah, go to this Q&A with Ben Arendt from the Teleport team. We actually do a demo and talk about machine ID in much more detail. But machine ID will allow you to use Cloud KMS, etc. To kind of broker that initial connection and a machine configuration. Also works for CI/CD. So it's worth looking at and playing with and experimenting with. Okay, question from Russell. I assume, put that on the screen, I assume that all the other features of Teleport are available when using GitHub Authentication, i.e. temporary access via approvals. Yeah, so the OAuth dance just gets you mapped to a teleport role, and then all the other features will function as normal. So any of those cool features like privilege elevation, etc., all just work. All right, well, thanks for your time today. We've got another 3 videos left in this teleport course coming within the next 2 weeks, all juggled around KubeCon, but I'm excited, and we'll get you more, because let's face it, right, we've already seen in the 6 months that I've been working on this course that Teleport have shipped 3 major versions. So when Teleport 10 ships, I'll be sure to update this course and keep the content coming. So if you like these videos, thumb it up, share it with your friends and colleagues, and remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for your time.